everyone. So my name's Kylie Brand and I just wanted to do a little different video today introducing myself so you get to see the face behind my videos. So a little bit about me. I am 31 years old and I live in Gippsland, Victoria, which is in Australia. Today it is extremely blustery and cold and rainy and disgusting outside, so yeah, it's a good opportunity just to hang out inside and do some sewing and, you know, keep warm mostly. This is one of my kitties, Miko. You would have seen her in a few of my time-lapse videos. She's the one that sits on my lap and likes to cuddle. I didn't put her there, by the way. She just came up and was being really cute, so I just left her there. Thought it was cool for the video. So yeah, I've been stitching for, I mean, as long as I can remember. You know, it seems like a really long time, but you know, what's a long time for a 31-year-old? I don't know, a long time. But I'm kind of notorious for not finishing things, which, look, I think that's kind of universal in the cross-stitch world and having many works in progress. I've got two finishes that I'm pretty proud of, which I can show you. This one is my very first finish. I did that, I mean, that's probably at least 10 years ago that I did that one. And I think it was a dimensions kit. I don't actually have it anymore, so I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was a dimensions kit. Yeah, and it was really fun to do. There's lots of gold in there and different, lots of things. So that's that one. And then usually around Christmas time I'll put it up on the wall and just take it down, you know, after Christmas. Just might as well get it out of the cupboard and, you know, make some use out of it. And this one is my most recent finish. You can actually see the Phoenix time-lapse video in my, obviously, YouTube videos. That was the very first one I did, so, you know, just bear with me on that one because I was still learning a lot. So this one is by Cloud's Factory. It's called Magical Creatures Calendar. In the pattern itself, there's, you know, days of the month, so January, February, March, whatever. I just decided not to put those in there just for a little bit something different. But you know, I really love that one. Cloud's Factory is one of my favourites. Yeah, so just a little bit about me, and obviously the most recent goings on in my life. So I got married in February, which is really fun, exciting. I mean, it's honestly not much difference really, it's just, you know, it's all official now, so yay for that. We nicked off to Vietnam for a couple of weeks, so we enjoyed all the sights and the food and all the fantastic things that is to offer over there. I highly recommend going there if you haven't been before. It's absolutely stunning. Lots of things to see and do, and yeah, so highly recommend. What else? I own my own gift shop with my mum. So we just do a couple of days on, a couple of days off each and just rotate between that, which is really good for flexibility. Obviously I get a lot of time to do my stitching both at home and at the shop as well. So that's really fun. You know, obviously I'm a bit obsessed, so you know, make the most of every hour and just squeeze in as much as I can. I was diagnosed with endometriosis in September last year. So that's been quite challenging, but you know, it's good to actually have a name on all the issues that I was having instead of just thinking I was going mad. So just a little shout out to my endo warriors and sisters. You know, I feel your pain and understand how rough it can be, and hopefully that we, you know, get a bit further in research and be able to obviously work our way towards a cure. That'd be just fantastic. Yeah, so I mean, that's sort of the main things about me at the moment. Obviously there's a lot more to it, but you know, it could take me 6 years to go through all that. That's just the major things at the moment. So I'll just flick on over to my Stitch With Me section, and obviously I'll be talking a lot through that, or just about random bits and bobs that I come up with. Yeah, hope you enjoy. Bye. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit of real-time stitching with the Dimensions A Treasured Time kit. This is what I've done so far. It's taken me so long, but it's coming together really well, which is really cool. There's not a lot of actual cross stitch in this piece. There's more just the half stitch with multiple threads. Some parts have 2 or 3 strands, other have 4. Just depends on the detail. Obviously I haven't done any of the back stitching yet. I'm planning on finishing all of the actual stitching and then do the back stitching. But today I'm going to do a little bit of work down here on these guys. Gonna get that straight, nice and close. And there we go. So yeah, this is my first real-time video, so I'm just going to talk about random bits and bobs as I stitch, I guess. Just a disclaimer though, I think I actually do my stitching backwards. A lot of people go from top right to bottom left first and then over the other way, but I started this way and I'm like, well, I can't change it now, so I just gotta keep going, which is alright, as long as it's all the same, I guess. And also when I started this piece, I hadn't come across the loop start method yet, so it's full of knots on the back, which I know it's terrible, slap me on the wrist, but again, I feel like I can't stop doing it now, because if I do, then one half of it will just be knotty and bumpy when I frame it, versus the other side, which will be flat. So if I keep going, it should be all raised slightly, and I think if I put a bit of felt over it, it should be alright. In theory, I don't know, I've never done it before, so we'll see what happens. Oh my god, would you look at these? How ridiculous are they? But, you know, they keep my feet warm, so I'm cool. It's, oh, here's my back. It's winter here in Australia at the moment, so I've got to do everything I can to stay warm, because I'm a cold fish all the time. It really frustrates me, but you know, summer's great. I think it's only about 12 degrees Celsius today, which is yucky. Windy and rainy. Oh, there's Kitty, just hanging out. If this shows up, I can show you a little trick in case you didn't know. So this here is just the black that I'm using at the moment. So how you have a normal skein of floss. To get one strand out easily, you just find, or you know, you can tease a little bit to make them stick out, but you find one, hold on to the rest of this really tight, and just pull that one, and it'll come out, no worries, no knots. Leaves the rest of this fully straight still, and it's nice and easy. I hear a lot of people doing it with their mouth, which I don't understand. Maybe it's the same sort of thing, but pulling it with their teeth. I don't know, I'll have to have a look into that. So it'll be interesting to find out. I'm learning heaps as I go, actually. I've been stitching, I think, for around, I'm going to say around 15 years, but I don't actually recall when the first time I did a cross stitch. I know I started out doing long stitch when I was quite young, but you know, that's a completely different kettle of fish. So yes, I went through a few stages where I didn't sew for quite a long time. I have different hobbies and different kinds of things, and yeah, so I've picked it back up probably in the last few months or so. I'm just trying to find where I need to be. This is really hard. I think it's there. No. Oh. I'm going to go in there and see what happens in that. No, I lie. I'm going to go here. That's a bit easier. I'll make the most out of my floss that way, I think. Oh well, see what happens. So this piece I've been mostly working on when I'm at work. I own myself a gift shop, so it's really handy in between customers. I can just sit out the back and do some stitching, especially on quiet days. It's might as well be productive than just sitting there and doing nothing, which is nice. So yeah, it's just slowly, and you know, some days it might be super quiet and I get in 5 or 6 hours of it and then come home and do my other project. You might have seen on my channel already, I've been working on the Long Dog Samplers Pilgrim, which I've been madly in love with. Figured I'd track my progress and do a little bit of time-lapse videos on it and see how it went, which is more just for my own pleasure. Like I like to see things come together and have a look at how it goes along the way, and that's really cool. You know, and if people would come along for the ride on the way, then that's even cooler. So it's more just because I've got a memory like a goldfish, so it's really handy. Really excited. We've got a few friends coming over tomorrow night. We're cooking up a big Mexican feast for dinner. So we're going to do a massive big tray of loaded nachos. We're also going to do tacos and enchiladas and probably heaps of sides. I'm actually a chef by trade, so I really love cooking and everything food. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to spend the day, probably do a big slow cooked pot of pulled pork. Should be for the tacos, I think. That'll be something quite delicious, I reckon. My friend, a couple of the friends that are coming, they do like really big cook-ups every now and then when we come over for dinner. So I feel like it's only fair that we have a crack and make up a big feast as well, just to, you know, show that we appreciate them and, you know, have a bit of fun and talk a bit of crap. And we sometimes play Cards Against Humanity when we hang out, which is always a great laugh. So see what happens. We might do a bit of that. Hopefully it's not too cold, but you know, thank goodness for heating. Got central heating here, so I'm really lucky. In case you haven't noticed, I'm an Aussie, so it's actually really funny hearing my voice on video, because I don't realise I've got such a big accent when, you know, obviously you're so used to it, and then you hear a different accent. Like I noticed most Flosstubers are, you know, American accents, or just a bit different from what I'm used to obviously every day, and it's just really strange, but it's really cool to see such a big community come together. It's nice to be able to actually have something that you can relate to with people all over the world. A lot of my friends don't get it. They just, you know, they're busy, they've got kids and crazy schedules of work and all that sort of thing. The postman's just shown up at the front door. We're back in a sec. Okay, so I'm back, and yay! 4 cross-stitch supplies in the mail. I'm going to open it in front of you just so you can see, because that's always fun. I actually didn't expect it to come this quick, which is even better. Guess what it is? Ooh. Maybe it's just a foam. It's just a roll of foam, and they're tricking me. Okay. Not at all what I was expecting. Well, it's either what I wasn't expecting or I don't remember ordering this one. I don't know. Maybe. So, oh look, it's still going to work. It's still going to do the job. Oh, stickers. Oh, what? Okay, yeah, cool. So you stick that on there. And you grab your floss, which I'll just use this one for example. And then you loop it around in here. And the idea is you have a needle stuck to it and then you can poke it in the foam just so it holds it, and then you can have one for each single colour and you write the symbol in each one of these. I'm guessing you cut that in half so you only have one row. So I might even just photocopy that grid and then I can use it a bunch of times for different projects. I don't know, we'll see what happens. Might be a little bit easier to work with, maybe, because I just made the one I've got at the moment and it's not super practical. I'll show you that. It's a bit messy, don't judge me. So I've just written all the numbers along the sides, and as you can see I've ripped a few, which is annoying, but you know, whatever, that happens. A bit tangled. So yeah, and then again with these ones, you don't actually have to take them off the loop to get them out. Very similar to what I showed you before. With these, you just grab the loop. You grab one strand. It's easy with a needle, but mine's attached to my work, so that's not going to happen today. So you just grab one strand from the loop that it's around. Hold the rest of it. Oh, you don't have to hold that really. And then just pull. And it comes out easily. Mostly easily, sometimes easily. There we go. And then that's tangle free, and you can just loop that straight onto your work, onto your needle, sorry. And then this one is still attached and ready to go. So that's my DIY jobby. But yeah, I need to find out a much better way to sort my floss, because that one is a pain, especially on this project, because there's a lot of sections that actually have two colours on the one. Like you thread them both onto the needle at the same time, which is a real pain in the butt, because it takes you like forever just to find the colours that you need, because you've got to find, on the back you've got to find the symbol that you want, and then you've got to find the number, and then you match it up, and too hard basket. But look, I do it still. Still fun. It's just, I guess there's other ways. I just prefer to use single colours. Just a little bit easier for me. That's all. So I'd love to know what you're working on at the moment. If you'd like to stick that in the comments below. And if you have any favourite designers, because I'm actually obsessed with just looking for patterns. I spend most nights, the husband's asleep in bed, and I'll just be strolling Etsy and just favouriting about 40 million patterns, as if I'm ever going to get a chance to do them all, but you know, gives me something to do. I reckon I've got my next 20 WIPs in my mind already. I think that's pretty standard though, is it's like rite of passage being a cross stitcher, just having multiple projects that you plan ahead for, and usually buying. I'm actually really good. I don't have any extras lying around. I've got a lot of Ada and Even Weave just hanging about, because I found it a really cool supplier. I think you pronounce it Ritarine's Cross Stitch. I can link it in the notes down below. She quite often has sales. She's based in the States, and
She had a really good sale on one time, so I asked her to send me some prices, and it worked out actually so much cheaper than what it would have been if I bought it here in Australia. Ada is, I prefer Ada. To be honest, I've actually never given a crack on even weave or on linen because I'm a bit scared, just because it's so different. I've never done it before, and you know, that's how it is. But I bought some just to give it a crack at some point, see how it goes. I did try one time on just standard linen and cracked it because it was poo, so I gave up on that, and I think that's why maybe it's just been a bit I just haven't been interested in it too much, just because that one time didn't work how I wanted it to. But you know, I'll have another go some other point. But yeah, so this Ada in Australia, our major craft store is called Spotlight. I guess it's probably about the equivalent of like the Michaels and Joann's in America. And if you buy Ada by the metre, you're paying around $95, which is ridiculous. So yeah, I don't do that because that's dumb. And even buying floss here, it's, I think on average it's about $1.30 a skein, which, you know, like in the scheme of things, it's not a ridiculous amount, but compared to, you know, other places you can get it around the world for heaps cheaper, it's really quite frustrating. But, you know, we do what we do, and I found a supplier online that sells them for a bit cheaper, which is nice, but at least with this one, it's only, like, it's a kit, so I don't have to worry about it. It all comes provided, so I don't need to spend extra on that one. Just with the Pilgrim I'm doing it, that's just a bunch of black, so I just buy a handful at a time and use that, and then go back and get some. And hopefully in between that, I'll get the sale on, which is nice. I think we got them down to $1 a skein not long ago, which was cool. But of course I didn't go in, did I? Because I was busy. So as mentioned, with the long dog samplers, they're one of my favourite. Jules is a favourite cross stitch designer. I think she's amazing, and I have plans of doing Death by Cross Stitch at some point. But you know, life. So hopefully I can storm through the Pilgrim, which has been not too bad. Like, I've probably completed about a page a month or so on average. So, you know, all going well, it should take me 12 months to finish it. I'm up to page 5 now, so I'm getting through, and I actually reckon I've gotten through a fair bit of this page in the last couple of days pretty quick. But it is a fairly tedious part, so I don't know whether I'm just thinking that it's coming along really quick, or I don't know. But I love it, so yay. I guess time flies when you're having fun. One of my other favourite designers is Clouds Factory as well. They get really fun, funky designs, which I really like. I actually really like swapping colours a lot because it keeps me interested. So those designs are really cool. Somewhere along the line, I'm hoping to do their I love their astrology one. I think that's really funky. I'd love to do their Epic Fairy Book Princess one, but holy moly, I think it probably cost me hundreds of dollars to even just to buy the fabric to stitch it on. So maybe when I win Tats Lotto we can do that one. imagine it'd take forever. I'd love to be able to do a heaven and earth one. I think that'd be fantastic. It's again, I've never done the parking method, which I sort of feel like you might have to with something like that without, you know, prevent yourself from getting lost in it all. As you can see from this one, I tend to be a bit of a cross-country stitcher, and I just kind of go where the floss takes me, and you know, it might be a bit more wasteful, but at the same time the kits always come with a lot of floss anyway, so you've got extras, which is nice. I feel like I'm quite conservative with it anyway, but in saying that, I do sometimes get a bit annoyed with tying off every 5 seconds, so I tend to travel a little bit. It wouldn't probably be, I don't know, maybe like worst case scenario, like 1 inch, which I know, you know, that people say that if it's more than like, what, 2 or 3 squares that you should tie off, but again, no one sees the back. I actually quite like the back a bit messy, to be honest. I think it's really cool. Like, it's almost like just a different way of doing art, like a reversed form. I quite like this one, how it looks on the back with the messy, but you know, to each their own. It's personal preference. As mentioned earlier, I didn't know that the loop method existed when I started this one, so I was doing knots. So since then, with the Pilgrim, I have just solely done the loop method. So there's not a single knot on that one, which is really cool, and it's really neat on the back. So I kind of more just did it as a way to give myself a bit of a challenge and see how it went. And yeah, it's a really cool achievement in a way. Like, I know it's got nothing to show for it, but I don't know, it's just cool to be able to say, yeah, I can do neat backs. Not that it matters. Like, I don't mind either way. It doesn't fuss me. I think as long as you're proud of what you're working on at the front, that's all that matters. Just threading my needle. Hey, no, kitty, no. Go away. She just tried to jump up. I don't think it would have held on very well. She's only a little kitty. It's, she's fully grown, but she's just small in size. So she's the one that you mostly see on my time-lapse videos, sitting in my lap because she loves having a snuggle. Her name is Miko. I got her name from the raccoon on Pocahontas, because when she was really tiny she looked like a little raccoon. She was so cute, so I thought that was a cute name. And my other cat is named Minou, which I believe is French for kitty. Not the well-known French chef that's all over Australia at the moment. His name's Manu Fidel. So yeah, different. Same but different, guys. And they're actually brother and sister, so they look very much the same. It's just Minnie's got short hair and Miko's got, a little bit longer. It's not super long, but it's a bit longer. Yeah, they're my babies. I'm actually really surprised, touch wood, that they haven't tried to steal my floss yet. I keep this kit all wrapped up and tight, and like I said, it's usually at work anyway, so it's not here, but I wanted to bring it home just so I could have some nice lighting and, maybe give a video a crack and see how it went. But my Pilgrim Flosstube, I mean, I just have the black, so I've actually got it looped around a ring just to make it a bit easier managing wise. And yeah, I've just got it looped over the edge of my seat that I stitch on in the lounge room, and yeah, they haven't touched it, thankfully. So I'm not sure if you can see this taking shape. So obviously the red part on the right is a woman sitting on a bench getting her ice skates tied up, and the black part that I'm doing is a man tying the laces. It's really fun to watch it all come together actually. When I was probably, I don't know, maybe a third of the way of what I've done now, I was just like, oh my god, this is not going to look anything like it. It's ridiculous. And then, you know, as you add every, you know, new colour and a new section to it, it's and you stand back and also and have a look at it. That's when it's really impressive just to be able to see more so the shading and the details that come along. I'm excited to get finished and start adding all the back stitching and the French knot. There's heaps of French knots on this one. But I'm kind of weird. I actually really like French knots. I don't find them that difficult. It's strange. I don't know why, but anyway. So yeah, it'd be cool to see when all that, you know, it just makes them stand out a little bit more. How many of you guys railroad when you sew? Do you do it with every stitch or just occasionally? Again, that's only something I've sort of recently learnt. I think it's pretty cool. I only do it sometimes when I feel like I need it. Obviously, just let the needle drop at the bottom and untangle, but sometimes it just doesn't like to, so oops, that's not the right one. Go back. Abort. I know I've in a bunch of different cross stitch groups on Facebook, and it's interesting to hear how, you know, people do different techniques and what's something that's pretty average or, you know, standard for them to do. Like, you know, some people railroad both under the bottom stitch, which is this one here. And what I mean by railroading is, so you've got your thread and you put your needle through it like this and then go through the hole, and what that does is it keeps the floss strands separate and makes them lie nice and flat compared to other ones that you can probably see that seem a little bit tangled. And then so you can see I'm doing it over there again. But yeah, some people do it for both top and bottom. Some people just do it top just to cover up the bottom one. Some don't do it all, or, you know, like me, I just I do it when I feel like it. So yeah, well, I might just finish up on that note today. And I'll just do a little zoom out so you can see how it looks with what I've added. Yeah, coming along nicely. Well, thank you so much for watching. Hope you were entertained. I don't know if that's possible. I mean, you know, that was fun. I had a good time. Let me know what you think. I'd love some likes and subscribers just to let me know that if you enjoyed it, or if there's, you know, let me know if there's anything you want to see or any patterns in particular, because obviously recommendations you know, help me to know what you guys want to see. Yeah, happy stitching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.